الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهديه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالكم? I pray you all well. Alhamdulillah, so far we have learned 5 letters together. We learned letter kaf, and then with the fatha, so we learned how to say ka, ta with the fatha, so on top. Fatha is that little accent, if you will, or little line, if you will, on top of the letter. And again, if you remember the direction of it, so if this is a square, the direction of it is like this. Like we write it up to down like this. We don't put the arrow, of course. I'm just showing you the direction where how you write it, fatha. But it's just a little line on top. So you start from up to down. So don't put it like that and think it's a fatha. It's the other way around. So fatha, why is called fatha? Because when you read it, you space out, or you fataha, you open up between both your lips. So you go ta, ka, ba, and all that. So that's why it's called fatha. Inshallah, in the future we'll learn other vowels as well. We learned how to write and read sa or sin with the fatha. As well, we learned da or dal with the fatha. Make sure you're not saying dal or dal. If you're coming from English speaking background, you will find that you're making, without realizing, some letters heavy, because this is how the English L sound like. So if you think it's L, it's del, light sound. So all these sounds are light. Ba, space out between your lips, open up. Ba, ta, da, sa, and ka. And inshallah, we learn today a little bit more. But first, I have uploaded for you a PDF. I hope you managed to download it, or you can, if you can print it, that's is better. Why? Because you could copy, you could see the letters, and you could copy now how they look different in the middle or in the beginning of a word. So as you can see, the kaf, I'm going to write on the screen, but as well, if you have the document available, or if you can open it on a notes or on an application that allow you to write on top of the PDF, do that. As well, of course, you can see if you can print it out. So the kaf, for you to understand what happens with the kaf, so you see that little hamza, I'm just changing the color, that little hamza inside of the kaf, this little thing. When you connect the kaf, imagine you're trying to write something with the kaf and you want to connect it to another letter. Imagine it's a ba coming forward. This is not how the kaf looks like. So never think the kaf will look like that. And when you see a hamza floating like that on top of a word, that is a kaf in any way. When we connect the kaf, we actually do something with that little hamza. So we take this little hamza away, and we transfer it into a line or a hat, if you will, on top of the kaf. So what's remaining from the kaf is that big corner or elbow and no hamza inside. And it's replaced by this. So that's what you see here. So if you want to write this, you keep that corner, curved like that. You want to keep it like this if you want. You want to write it with the angle like this. It's both correct, like that. And then we write it, of course, in 2 steps. Don't think you write your kaf like that. Don't write your kaf on 1 step. Write it in 2. First, write the corner or the body of the kaf, and then add that little hat on top. So you understand how did it came around to look like that. So this is what the ka look like when or where exactly when you see it in a beginning or a middle of a word. At the end of the word, it will have the same original shape that you're familiar with. So, of course, you're welcome to go to view options, pick the annotate, and come right with me on the screen. You're welcome to do that. Right, you can write here underneath, you can write beside, and then we're going to practice after that the del in a different space. Don't worry about the space. If you can practice on your paper, take a picture, send to the group or privately, all that is okay. It's okay. I know it's hard on the device that you try to adjust to write exactly on the line, but you try your best, inshallah. So what we're doing now is just practicing how to write the kaf. So our hand and our eye get a understanding what happened to the kaf. So when you see it like that, you understand it's a kaf. It's okay, my sister. You can finish writing it and I will move it upward. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Okay. Okay, thank you. That's okay, mashallah. My sisters, you can write and send. It's okay. Just make sure you're trying. Make sure that you're holding pencil, crayon, paper, anything, and try out. I know it's not easy to write on the screen, but it's an attempt. Thank you for trying. Okay. Something else I want to show you before we move on to the del is sometimes you would see the kaf with this hat or line on top, but looking a little bit different. And you think, what is this now? So sometimes, so now I'll just show you here. So sometimes the kaf would look like this. So what happened over there? Is this a yeah? Some people will look at this and tell me, this is a yeah. We never write the yeah like this in a beginning of a word. Never the yeah would look like it. This is the kaf again. So what happened then? What happened to all that body? That body shrunk and compensated with this curve over here, you see? So if you think about it, it's just they switch places. The body is now a little bit, and that hat went a little bit backward. So that's still a kaf shape too. So if you could see it like this, or you could see it like this. All right. If you have a chance to continue writing kaf, write it in 2 steps. Always this step first and then this, or big body first and then this, both correct. Next, we're going to look at the del. So I will now, if you want to take a screenshot of this help, do. I'll give you a minute to do that, and then I will practice the del. I will erase everything and then practice the del. Okay, so after that, del. So del alone, we practiced. Look, it looks like a cave or a curve like that. I'll change color. So when it connects from before it, this is the connecting line. Sometimes that curve is now straight, so it's not curve anymore, and sometimes it keeps the curve exactly the same. Look, if you look at both alone and connected, you see that little line has the same angle. According to the calligraphy, the type of the calligraphy, is it computerized, is it handwritten? You may see that difference. But don't think this is a lamb. This is the common mistake that people think always, that this is a lamb. Lamb will never look like that. Lamb is, inshallah, when we practice, is a very long letter, and actually it's written underneath the line too. So this and this are not comparable. That del is smaller, is sitting on the line. Lam is different. So this has to be, when you see it, a del. So now take a minute and try to practice writing your del, please. You are welcome to try on the screen. Okay. Of course, I understand the difficulty of the screen, but it should, of course, as you already know, it should be a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to make it a bit smaller to show you the right size. So it should be like this. Not so the size of the calf, if you think about it, the size of the calf and the size of are not equal. Look how the del look like, and look how the calf look like. The calf is bigger, the del is smaller. Okay, is this your calf, Shabana, or del? You don't have to speak if you don't want. I'm just trying to read through. So if you're trying to write the del, you start from the right, not the left. I saw you starting from the left side. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, it was my del.
Okay, so when you start, okay, you don't need this. You see, you start with this because you're writing from before it, and then you're adding the del. You see, you start from before it. So it's not like two curves. It's not like two curves like that. It's not like that. You start from before as you're writing on a line, and then you make the wall for the del up, and then you go down. Exactly. It just need to be a bit smaller, but yes, that's much better. Okay. So again, if you need to take a picture of this to help you later, please go ahead. After that, we're going to practice. I'm going to clear all and practice the ba. So ba, when you see it alone, you know the shape, that boat type shape like and dot underneath. When it is connected, you cannot see the boat shape. So what do you see? Only that little line with one dot underneath. Remember, that little line doesn't have any particular shape, just a line. Because other letters that maybe have one dot underneath have a different shape to the ba. It's not the same shape. So how do you know the ba? Just a little line and one dot underneath. So how do you do that? You start from as a connecting letter from before. You add a little line, don't make it long. If you compare the size, it's half of the size of what the del is. Very little. Okay, you start with this line, or you add it, and then you carry on from after it, and you put one dot underneath. That is your ba. Okay, so then how the ta looks like. Same idea. That little line, no particular shape in the line, just a little line. The only thing about it, it is really short. It is really short compared to the size of your del. It's like half size. If you have that little line with two dots on top, that's your ta. Are there any other letters that look like that? No. Are there any other letters that have two dots? Yes, but none of them will have that just a little line, short line with 2 dots on top. That's your ta. I'm telling you all that because now we're going, in a second, we're going to find a surah in the Quran, like Surah Al-Ikhlas or Surah Al-Nas, and we're going to try and see if any of these letters are in the surah. So try writing your ba, try writing your ta. I will write again with a different color underneath to show you. So ba will have this little line. You don't have even to have that curve, just a little line. Ba, sleep like all of it's flat. Just a little line, 2 dots on top. That's your ta. Last one is scene. So what makes the scene look like a scene when it's in the middle of a word is those 3 lines written together, no dots underneath, no dots on top. So it will look like, so this is a connecting line from before. 1, 2, 3, you're done. That's your scene. It cannot be less than that, and it cannot be more than that, and they cannot be separated. So if you separate them, for example, if you're written like this, and like that, we may not think this is a scene. We may think maybe this is a ta or a noon and you missed the dots, or a ta or a ba and you forgot to write the dots. It will make it look completely different. So try that all the 3 lines are very close to each other, so that makes the scene or the sa shape. Please confirm you're done if you practiced, so we can now look at a surah. Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, my sister Fiona sent. Okay, mashallah, jazakallah khairan. Oh, mashallah, that looks good. Mashallah, ahsanti. Let me see this. Oh, I cannot see the sa yet. Inshallah, you're working on it. Okay. And my sister Karen, when you're done, please let me know. I know the scene is a bit tricky. Okay, but try a few attempts, inshallah. May Allah make it easy for you. Okay, so now quickly, because I have to admit the sisters for the next class, inshallah, I want to share with you what do we choose? Surat. Oh, I see now, Shabana sent it on Zoom. Ahsanti, I can see your scene. Some of your scene has more teeth. Those lines, we call them in Arabic teeth. Asnan as-sin has more than 3. Try to keep them to 3. It doesn't need more. Your ta is good. Your ba is good. Jazakallah khairan. Okay. All right, so I will show you quickly Surat An-Nas, inshallah. So here we go. So Mus'haf is here. So. Okay. Okay, can you see in the first verse, can you see any of the letters that we learned? If you can underline on the screen, only in the first verse, only in here. You should be able to see two in here. MashaAllah, ahsanti, MashaAllah, that's letter ba. We didn't learn this bit. So what is this bit about? So sa is correct. So what we learned so far was ba, bi rabbi. We didn't learn this one in the middle. And then we learned the sa. So that's the scene. Okay, Jazakallah khairan, barakallah feekum. May Allah make it easier for you. Have fun learning. And if you have anything, if you have any questions, please do send. And now I'll stop the recording, inshallah.